Authorities are investigating a deadly shooting in T. The police department posted an update online confirming the death.
Investigators say a man was shot just before noon on Monday on the north side of T. Authorities have arrested 59-year-old Timothy Overton as a suspect in an assault prior to the shooting. He is currently being held without bond.
A 19-year-old Sioux Falls man is scheduled to be sentenced for a pair of drive-by shootings. In January, Sheldon Stewart shot at a house with 10 people inside, including children. He took off and later returned to the same home and fired more rounds. Last week, Stewart pleaded guilty to 2 counts of shooting at a building. He's scheduled to be sentenced on July 15th.
The results are in from the primary elections that took place across South Dakota Tuesday night. Here's the results for a few races in the Sioux Falls area. John Sharda and David Cole won seats for District 2. In District 6, its incumbent Representative Aaron Aylward with a total of 40% of the votes. For District 11, incumbent Representative Brian Mulder and Carrie Weems have the same number of votes at 627. And in District 13, incumbent Tony Venheisen and John Hughes secured seats for their district. You can find more election results right here on KELOLAND.com. Now let's get a first look at our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. More wind today, Scott?
Oh, the wind will come back. Northwest winds will have wind gusts over 40 to near 50 miles per hour for this afternoon. Along with it, we may have a couple of very light rain showers on the onset of seeing these strong winds move through central, eastern, and southeastern KELOLAND late this morning into the afternoon hours. Our temperatures will reach the 70s and low 80s for highs today. More wind tomorrow. Details of your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast with Brian coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. Well, people in Sioux Falls had to deal with flash flooding yesterday. Early in the afternoon, a sudden rain shower dumped half an inch of rain in a half hour's time. Water levels rose and there were some reports of drivers being stranded. But once the rain let up, drains were able to bring those water levels back to normal.
Well, summertime means more kids playing outside and more trips to the park. And in Lenox, the city is fundraising for an upgraded spot for families to let off some summer steam. The city wants to update the current equipment at Westerman Park because the slides have some cracks and the colors are fading.
A new playground is going to have everything they could ever want out of a little playground in a small town. You'll have slides, you're going to have climbing features. I think there's a climbing wall on there. There's a play saucer for the little kids. So it's designed to encompass as many age groups as we can.
Vanderplots says they budgeted about $50,000 for the playground, but they still need about $30,000 more. A GoFundMe has been started to help the city fundraise. You can find a link to that page under this story right here on KELOLAND.com.
It is looking like South Dakota voters will be deciding on legalizing adult-use marijuana again. A petition for initiated measure to legalize the use, possession, and distribution of cannabis in South Dakota has been validated for the 2024 general election. If it passes, the measure would allow people to possess up to 2 ounces of cannabis flower or 16 grams of concentrated cannabis.
When it comes to tincture, this is something you're going to want to do sublingually, so you're going to let it sit under your tongue for as long as possible, bare minimum 30 seconds. When it comes to gummies or any edible form, something that you are going to eat. It is an edible form of cannabis.
Now, shops already selling medical marijuana say even though concentrate and gummies are available, it's the flowers, the plants that are still the top seller.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens.
All right, our weather picture today, well, we're looking at those 70s for highs, nearing 80 in Sioux Falls. We do expect winds to be one of our top weather stories. In fact, for most of us today, it'll be a widespread 30 to 45 mile an hour wind. Let me show you a couple of elements here. We're going to bring up Futurecast and kind of parse this out a little bit here. So as we go through the day part outlook, see all this red and the intensity of the coloring in north central, northwestern South Dakota. That is the expanse of all this northwest wind, and as that comes through, right on the leading edge of that is where these lighter showers and sprinkles have been trying to form this morning. So that's basically the couple of stories there that are co-linked. Clearly, we still have some more wind going on this evening, but I would expect the overnight to trend a little bit less on that. But don't worry, the wind's coming right back at us tomorrow. Now, most of that talk will be East River. Western South Dakota, not as windy for your Thursdays. So we got to get through a couple of days of the stronger wind. Friday, Saturday, we're not absent of wind, but we're not looking at, really high gusts here. But one thing I would point out is that for the weekend, a northwest wind will be very prevalent, and that's going to really put some pressure on our high temperatures. We've got an upper level low that may sneak in here, might develop some scattered showers and some clouds, and I could easily see at least a couple of days where we're going to be below normal. We're going to keep an eye on that, especially by Sunday and Monday. Today's temperature is actually not bad. We're probably close. In fact, we're actually right in the normal range, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. And then for the overnight, we'll drop back to the 50s. I think we'll clear those skies, so no mention of sprinkles or showers. And then for your Thursday, quite a bit of sunshine. It's just the wind that's the big story there. But if you're not a big fan of the bugs, hey, maybe you get an advantage there, right? You can be out in the open yard and bugs will blow right by you. All right, 83 today, Yankton in your forecast. What do we do with next week? Well, it looks like 70s. We're not going to be warm yet. We're going to have some showery weather at times. Maybe starting Saturday into Sunday, I would still kind of continue to keep that rain chance only 20 to 30%. One other noted feature here is if it does rain during the course of the weekend, we're not looking at heavy rain. The atmospheric moisture values are way lower than they have been, so I don't think we're looking at heavy downpours here at this time in the forecast. For Pierre in central South Dakota, it's been drier lately. We're just going to kind of contain that rain chance to Saturday, maybe the first half of the day. And right now, I would actually peg Nebraska, Colorado, and Kansas with a much better chance of rain Friday, Saturday. So we're basically getting clipped here by some of that moisture. Check out more details. We've got a complete and comprehensive outlook online at KELOLAND.com.